Part 1. The Accusation. The office of Quantum Tech Solutions buzzed with the usual corporate hustle. Employees tapped away at their keyboards, phones rang incessantly, and conversations filled the air. Among them was Marcus Wright, a quiet yet efficient assistant who had recently joined the team. Marcus, a tall, composed black man with a knack for details, had quickly proven himself invaluable to the team. But despite his competence, not everyone welcomed him warmly. Certain colleagues, particularly Brad and Chloe, often shot disdainful glances in Marcus's direction. Brad, a senior project manager, had a reputation for being condescending, while Chloe, his close associate, mirrored his behavior. They frequently whispered behind Marcus's back, their words dripping with suspicion and prejudice. One Friday afternoon, chaos erupted in the office. The company had been working on a cutting-edge project involving confidential intellectual property. The prototype, along with sensitive data, was discovered to be missing. Brad and Chloe wasted no time pointing fingers. "It's Marcus," Brad declared during an emergency staff meeting. "He's new and has access to the files. How do we know we can trust him?" Chloe chimed in. "He's always so quiet." That's suspicious in itself. The room grew tense. Marcus, caught off guard, could feel the eyes of his colleagues turning towards him. His heart sank, but he maintained his composure. "I assure you, I had nothing to do with this," Marcus said firmly, his voice steady. But Brad wasn't done. "You're just saying that. Why else would someone like you even want to work here? Are you here to steal secrets?" The veiled racial undertone wasn't lost on Marcus or anyone in the room. Despite the lack of evidence, Marcus was asked to step aside from his duties while an internal investigation was conducted. His desk was searched, his belongings inspected, and his every movement scrutinized. Marcus remained calm, knowing something bigger was at play. What his colleagues didn't know was that Marcus was no ordinary assistant. Part 2. The Revelation. Over the weekend, while most employees worried about the missing prototype and the company's reputation, Marcus worked silently from his modest apartment. His home office was lined with computer monitors and state-of-the-art tech equipment, a stark contrast to his humble assistant role. Unknown to his colleagues, Marcus was the lead developer of Quantum Tech's security systems, hired undercover by the CEO to assess potential vulnerabilities and expose internal threats. Marcus had been monitoring suspicious activities long before the theft occurred. He'd noted irregularities in Brad and Chloe's behavior, their frequent late-night logins, and unauthorized access to restricted files. However, he hadn't expected them to frame him so brazenly. Using his advanced tracking tools, Marcus delved deeper into the company's server logs. It didn't take long for him to uncover a trail of incriminating evidence pointing directly at Brad and Chloe. Not only had they accessed the prototype files, but they had also transferred them to an external server linked to a rival company. What shocked Marcus even more was the audacity with which they tried to cover their tracks, erasing logs and planting evidence to make him the scapegoat. By Sunday night, Marcus had compiled a comprehensive report, complete with timestamps, IP addresses, and email correspondences between Brad, Chloe, and executives at the rival company. Armed with this information, he contacted the CEO, Danielle Hart, requesting an emergency meeting first thing Monday morning. Part 3. Justice Served. On Monday, Marcus entered the office, his demeanor unshaken despite the cold stares and whispers from his colleagues. Brad and Chloe smirked from across the room, confident that their accusations had sealed his fate. The tension in the conference room was palpable as the staff gathered for the meeting. Danielle Hart, a no-nonsense leader, stood at the head of the table. "Before we proceed," Danielle began, "I'd like to thank Marcus for his exceptional work this weekend." The room fell silent, confusion etched on everyone's faces. "Exceptional work?" Brad blurted out. "He's the one who—" "Enough," Danielle interrupted, her tone sharp. "Marcus, please share what you've discovered." Marcus stepped forward, connecting his laptop to the projector. As he presented the evidence, gasps echoed through the room. Every detail was laid bare. Brad and Chloe's unauthorized logins, their correspondence with the rival company, and their blatant attempt to frame Marcus. Brad's face turned pale, and Chloe's smug expression melted into panic. This isn't what it looks like," Brad stammered. "Oh, it's exactly what it looks like." Danielle said coldly. You not only jeopardized the company, but tried to destroy an innocent man's reputation in the process. Security personnel entered the room, escorting Brad and Chloe out as they protested feebly. As the door closed behind them, Danielle turned to Marcus. Marcus Wright isn't just an assistant. He's the developer who designed our entire security infrastructure. He was hired to identify internal threats, and he's done exactly that. The revelation left the staff stunned. Those who had doubted Marcus now looked at him with newfound respect and regret. Danielle addressed the team. Let this serve as a lesson. Prejudice and dishonesty have no place here. Marcus, thank you for your dedication and integrity. The applause that followed was a small but meaningful vindication for Marcus. Though the road had been rocky, he'd emerged not just unscathed, but as a hero who exposed corruption and stood tall against discrimination. For Marcus, it wasn't about revenge. It was about justice and proving that integrity always triumphs over prejudice. Part 4. A new chapter. With Brad and Chloe removed from the company and their crimes under investigation, Quantum Tech Solutions faced a pivotal moment. Danielle Hart, determined to rebuild the company's fractured trust and morale, called for an all-hands meeting the following week. As the team gathered in the sleek conference room, the atmosphere felt different. There was a mix of anticipation, relief, and lingering shame among the employees who had remained silent during Marcus's ordeal. Danielle began the meeting with a frank acknowledgement of the past week's events. What happened here is a reminder of the biases and assumptions that can fester in any workplace if left unchecked, she said, but it's also a story of resilience, courage, and the unwavering pursuit of truth. She turned to Marcus, who stood beside her. Marcus, you've shown us the power of integrity, and for that, we owe you more than an apology. We owe you change. The room broke into applause, genuine this time. Marcus stepped forward, his usual quiet confidence now amplified by the respect he'd earned. Thank you, he began. While I'm grateful for the opportunity to help uncover the truth, I want this to be a moment of reflection for all of us. Prejudice, whether overt or subtle, corrodes trust and divides us. Let's not just learn from this experience, let's commit to doing better. The weight of his words hung in the air, sparking a collective sense of accountability. Promotions and policy changes. After the meeting, Danielle announced a series of changes within the company. Marcus was promoted to head of security operations, a role that reflected his expertise and contribution to the organization. But his promotion wasn't the only change. Danielle introduced a comprehensive diversity and inclusion program, mandatory bias training for all employees, and a whistleblower protection policy to ensure that such incidents would never occur again. We're not just fixing what's broken, Danielle declared. We're building something stronger. The company's efforts didn't go unnoticed. Quantum Tech quickly became a case study in corporate accountability and transformation, earning praise from industry leaders and media outlets. Marcus's legacy. While Marcus appreciated the recognition, his focus remained on his work. As head of security operations, he not only strengthened Quantum Tech's systems, but also mentored younger employees, particularly those from underrepresented backgrounds. For Marcus, the ordeal had been a test of character. He'd faced prejudice and emerged stronger, not by seeking revenge, but by standing firm in his values. His story became an inspiration, a reminder that integrity and perseverance could turn even the direst situations into opportunities for growth and justice. In the end, Marcus's journey wasn't just about exposing wrongdoing. It was about proving that resilience and integrity could pave the way for meaningful change, both in the workplace and beyond. And as he walked through the office each day, greeted with respect and admiration, Marcus knew he had not only found his place, but had helped create a better one for others.